Hi guys, welcome back.
Jamie, do you
sorry
think that they still show the same threat that we saw at times during the first 90?
Obviously not, but with Origi, whoever doubts him, he has that ability to score goals at the right time. Luis Diaz was one of the best players on the pitch. He was fantastic, and you lose him because obviously he's fatigued. It's always... You have to understand when you're playing a major final, it's tiring, it's your nerves. You've been thinking about this game all week. Both sides have put on an incredible performance. It's been a joy to watch. Right now, you're just hoping maybe it's not a mistake or somebody, due to fatigue. But it has been brilliant. It's been breathless. I mean, there's some great individual performances. Kai Havertz today I think his star's risen even more, even though he scored some vital goals. What a great player he is for your team, Jimmy.
The only thing that I can say, Chelsea has made substitutes up front, and they kept more or less their strength, Liverpool have made substitutes up front. Diaz is gone, who was really a big factor. Mane has gone. Those are big players, and they haven't had that much as they have before. So that is my only thing, for Chelsea.
Yeah, they do look a lot stronger, Chelsea, seeing with the changes that have been made in terms of the threat to the goal. Liverpool just haven't quite had a goal get as much, certainly since those substitutions have been made.
I don't think anybody wants to call this one in the next 15. Could we be heading to penalties?
Could be. Jorginho's going to come on, and I think with the game players get a little bit tired, he might be able to dictate this next 15 minutes and get on the ball. But penalties looks like, this is where you start to get nervous. The longer the game goes, you're thinking about penalties.
Either way, this is the final 15 of this match, and taking you through it, Gary Neville and Martin Tyler.
Well, thanks, Kelly. On we go into the Wembley night, and Jorginho brought on. He's lost his place in the team really because he's been overworked, a bit like Lukaku. Thomas Tuchel put them in the same envelope. They needed a break, but they're both now in that spine of a Chelsea team that's trying to turn this game, which has had a good number of chances, a couple of disallowed goals. Nothing yet decisive.
Jorginho comes on for two reasons. One, I think to freshen up that midfield, but he was always going to be on, just in case the penalties happened anyway.
He did have a penalty saved in the Euro 2020 final by Jordan Pickford, didn't he? But he scored plenty. It's a good point you make. It's Milner.
I agree with what was said in the studio. I just think Chelsea's substitutions have kept them stronger, or made them even stronger, because Liverpool just seem to have weakened them slightly.
Of course, the substitutes for Liverpool is Canate, who's to try and deal when Lukaku goes on his side of the pitch. The back four, shall I say. Left still is Marcus Alonso. He's there again, Lukaku again by the near post. And Chelsea pull all their tricks out in a corner kick routine.
They've got good height, Chelsea. Havertz, Chalobah, Lukaku, Rudiger, Thiago Silva, who's just wandering at the edge of the box. Just hanging out at the moment, the Brazilian. He's brilliant at those late runs.
Reece James has been entrusted with the corner. Gallagher did his job. Lifted forward by Alexander-Arnold. Across at left back, and Timo Werner was filling in at right back.
He didn't take the chance of controlling it. It was onto him.
Majority of famous Chelsea goals have been in cup competitions. Last thing Marcus Alonso wanted there was an extra sprint from and he's normally spot on with his distribution. Not quite that time. Conte.
Thiago Silva.
He feathered it when he got there.
He's got better in the game, Conte. It was difficult for him and Kovacic at the end of the first half. Not they were really struggling to contend with them across midfield, but they've improved and improved.
Thiago Silva taking the free kick quickly, spotting the potential on that far side. Jorginho's involvement, he can run a match, not that there's that much left of this one. He can also get run off. It's his pass, his strength there, in towards Lukaku. It's well watched by Konate.
He's got really good experience in the right areas, Chelsea. Good composure. Thiago on the ball now. Carson Silva, Rudiger at left centre back's been outstanding. Obviously Jorginho and Kante in midfield. Big game players.
Put Havertz in that category as well. Alonso. Lukaku. Oh, what a chance for Havertz! And the flag is up again. Well, he was all alone.
He was. You were just watching Chelsea build up with real confidence and you thought, there's something happening here. Van Dijk's he's just off that right foot.
False start, Thomas.
Two calls about
That was a very adept finish. It remains 0-0. 10 minutes away from penalties. They've had a couple of shootouts against each other in the past. Liverpool have won both of them.
They just scored Chelsea, but it's disallowed.
Is it?
Yeah.
A nibble from James on the Belgian.
Is Lukaku playing?
Yeah, he scored, but it's disallowed as well.
Chelsea, but this gives good depth for defending Thiago Silva.
And they've lost the flow through midfield. Liverpool, they can't get the passes into the midfield players that really gets them into a position to set that front three up with any quality. They're relying upon longer balls from the defensive players.
It's going to be
Just feels like the game's got a little bit more comfortable for that Chelsea back line. Since Diaz has gone off, Mane's gone off.
Stirs the memories of 3 years ago when Chelsea had that goalkeeping incident at the end of the 120 minutes. Risa Palaga, who played in the game, did stay on, but though he saved one, I think, in the shootout. The loser. Mendy's been in splendid form.
I like Konate.
Here is Konate.
I'm gonna make this road. Carson. And
Milner. Jota. Danger well recognised by James. Werner. Lukaku's on the move. Havertz is on the move.
That's tough.
Ball is a poor one.
Really is.
Fabinho. Liverpool, who look a little bit less threatening, but Origi has pedigree in his big games, and Jota has conjured goals all season.
They've got an overload. Chalobah's down.
Here's Salah. Can't get through.
He's done so well, Rudiger, in that left channel.
They've
Really
kept,
has.
they've kept Salah on the right, haven't they?
Yeah.
I think he might have been given a go through the middle. Very rarely you find him on the left. And he'll get there. Been in the dressing room, and he's got some gloves. Watch this space. Milner. Robertson.
Liverpool have got to try and get the fullbacks in the game. Robertson, Alexander-Arnold, get them up the pitch. They've got the quality that can deliver.
Van Dijk. Here is Alexander-Arnold. Trying to draw Chelsea out a little bit. Alexander-Arnold involved again, but Thiago Silva gets in once or twice. Couldn't trigger a counter-attack, which he certainly had in his mind when he made the first incursion. 6 minutes left.
I'm watching this! Jota, Trent.
Origi. Fought for it and won it. Milner. Now Fabinho. Salah. Still fighting, and he's won it for himself. Mo Salah, can he win the cup for Liverpool at the end of it? Well, there was a semblance of a chance through his own efforts, and now they might be worried about losing the cup to Romelu Lukaku, who skips away from Fabinho. Marcus Alonso's in the middle, Werner's coming in as well, but Van Dijk clears, and that final ball just lacking. It is really spread now. First Salah, then Lukaku.
I'm watching the game! I'm watching the game!
Saul doing the ball boy job. Scored a Wembley goal. Here's the Spaniard scored against England here in this country. More of a cheerleader at the moment than an attack leader. Fellow countryman Alonso, Havertz, Lukaku from the left offside.
He was offside.
Mom!
There's a goalkeeper ready to deal with a penalty shootout. What a story that would be. Saved 4 penalties in shootout wins last season.
Quite happy if I was a goalkeeper who'd done really well in the 120 minutes. They went off for the penalties. No problem with that.
When I say last season, I mean this season, by the way. Here's Thiago Silva's header, but it drops for Origi. Robertson still looking for a goal of the orthodox variety to settle the destiny of the Carabao Cup. Liverpool or London? Salah. Origi nicely laid off to Milner. On to Robertson. Chance for Liverpool here. It's a miscue by Jota.
Swung at it, Jota. Pace was on the ball in.
Virgil van Dijk in control. Fabinho, any bit of space. Both teams go forward. They have the ball, but not with the gusto of earlier, understandably. It's been a test of endurance. Canate.
It's going to happen. Just making his way towards the touchline.
Alexander-Arnold looking for Origi. It's a goal kick.
A goal kick that Mendy's probably not going to take.
Substitution for Chelsea. Coming off the field, number 16.
Well, quite a story. Some sentimentality involved, maybe. Balaga has been the goalkeeper who's got them to this final. And he's going to take part in the most dramatic of circumstances, unless, of course, in the few seconds that remain, Liverpool managed to get a goal, or indeed Chelsea get a goal, to avoid the need for penalties.
Not quite sure what I think of it.
No, and this is the goalkeeper that Sarri was the coach, wasn't he? Wanted to take off 3 years ago.
Couldn't get him off.
Couldn't get him off, no.
Yeah, just still not quite sure what I think of it. Obviously have this situation where players get brought on just for a penalty with a minute to go. I'm not quite sure what I think about that either. But we'll see how it pans out in these next few minutes.
Thiago Silva, Alexander-Arnold, Rudiger steps in. Board's about to go up to tell us how long we are away from the penalty shootout. It is 1 minute. Alonso. Canate's done well.
Really well. There was a point there where I thought Lukaku had him.
On by Jota, Origi strong. Ooh, it's a foul here. Let's give it.
It was a foul. Thiago's not daft. He knew that if Origi rolled him, there could be trouble. Jurgen Klopp knows that.
It was received and understood, whatever Andy Madley said to Jurgen Klopp. Last play of the game, maybe. Squeezed away. It is the last play of the game. After a titanic battle between the two German coaches and their teams, we go to penalties for decision time at Wembley. Goals disallowed, the dramatic late inclusion of Kepa Arrizabalaga for the shootout. For the moment, we'll be back, obviously, for the penalties. Back to Kelly in the studio.
Yes, a penalty shootout to come here at Wembley. There is one piece of breaking news coming out of the FA. We've seen sporting sanctions against Russia since their invasion of Ukraine, and the FA have announced this evening that England will not play against Russia in any game at any level for what they say is the foreseeable future. And if you want to get more on that, then Sky Sports News will be covering it in more detail. Here our focus is on the Carabao Cup final, which has gone to penalties after 120 minutes. The ball has been in the net several times. Plenty of the strikers seem to be unable to keep themselves on side. There have been incidents. It's not been a boring 0-0, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
No, it's been a really great 0-0. It could have been 3-3. It could have been whatever. There were enough chances. I think two really good teams. Liverpool first half were tremendous with the ball. They had a lot of possession, a lot of control. Second half, Chelsea came back into the game, was more even. But there were a lot of chances. But great game.
Both teams have used all 5 substitutions, very different lineups from the ones that we saw however long ago it was, Jamie, when this match kicked off at 4:30. One of the most significant ones is that they brought on Kepa Arrizabalaga instead of Edouard Mendy, who has a fantastic record in shootouts.
He does. I think psychologically he thinks that might help. Might put a few thoughts in the Liverpool players' minds, and it is an unusual one, but it's something that they feel really comfortable about doing. Now, as a manager, you're looking at your players, who fancies the penalties, trying to pick your 5. Some players maybe got a bit of a knock, some players are carrying a bit of cramp, so it is trying to pick your 5 that really fancy it. Who looks you in the eye and says, yeah, I fancy this, I'll take one for you, Gaffer. This is the interesting time for players and managers.
It's been so evenly balanced, as Jimmy said, that the momentum has swung from side to side throughout this game. It comes down to penalties. Jamie, you've done it. Is it one of the best ways to win and one of the worst ways to lose?
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, it's, for everybody watching, obviously not people involved, the supporters of both teams, but for everyone watching at home, it is a great way in some ways to decide a cup final. There's real tension towards the end, but I just want to give a mention to the 2 centre-backs in the game, probably one of the reasons why we're at 0-0. I mean, Virgil van Dijk and Thiago Silva, even, 37, brilliant performance, but Thiago Silva, what a player.
And they are the 2 sides who've kept the most clean sheets across European competitions this season, with now 22 and 21 for Chelsea, which is just a sort of significance of what Jamie was saying about the performance of the centre-backs. The players not far away now from that penalty shootout.
No, you're just saying that clean sheets, and with clean sheets, if you want clean sheets, you need good goalkeepers. And Mendy today was absolutely tremendous, but also Kelleher. Penalty takers.
Who's your 5, Jimmy? Who are you going for Chelsea?
Yeah, my 5. Definitely Juninho, definitely Reece, Harvard, Lukaku is going to want to take one.
Havertz, yeah.
And then the 5th, yeah, it can be Alonso for me.
Jamie, for Liverpool?
Liverpool, you're obviously going to look at Salah, Jota. Fabinho's got a great record. Milner's got a great record at penalties. Trent Alexander-Arnold's a brilliant striker of ball. That'll probably be my 5.
The players look like they're ready. We can join our commentary team now of Gary Neville and Martin Tyler.
Well, the penalties will be taken at the Liverpool end. And James Milner, who scored in regulation time in a League Cup final, Aston Villa from the spot, and is a well-practiced penalty taker. He's first up. Chelsea got through against Aston Villa and Southampton earlier in the competition by winning on penalties. They won the Super Cup against Villarreal on penalties. As for Liverpool, they had that amazing comeback against Leicester, which was decided on penalties in the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup. So there's plenty of practice, penalty takers, plenty of experience in the Chelsea goal, but for Kevin Kelleher, early in his career, of course, he was the goalkeeper against Leicester.
It's already took one.
None yet.
Milner's going first.
Twice before, these 2 clubs have been involved in penalty shootouts. Liverpool have won them both. Milner puts it away.
Well, he was rock solid, James Milner. Kepa tried it on, slowed him down, didn't fall for it.
I think Liverpool got this.
Well, it's that much trickier, of course, for the Chelsea players who just shut out the noise that greets them when they arrive 12 yards away from Kelleher's goal. Marcus Alonso just gets it beyond the bar, the right way, and it's 1-1.
Yeah.
Well, he went to the opposite side, but it was equally as good as Milner's. Right in the corner.
Well, Fabinho is a penalty taker with an excellent record.
Kepa's trying it again, and the referee's pushing him back.
Well, waiting for Fabinho to wait.
Nerve-wracking, isn't it, when they're looking at you like that?
gamesmanship goes on, eyeball to eyeball from 12 yards. Got to get the foot on the line. Second Liverpool penalty. Makes the nonsense of it.
He's done it.
Absolutely outrageous. Outrageously successful.
Risky. Absolutely brilliant from Fabinho.
Pressure. La caca.
So for Lukaku, who's returned to Chelsea, has been a bit of a roller
Do
coaster
you want a
ride.
pen, guys?
He did have an FA Cup semi-final penalty saved for Everton against Manchester United, but he scored here for Belgium against England. That was much more recent.
Got no way you're going to put it.
Right.
No way you're going to put it.
Little
Yes, I said right.
And it's 2-2.
Look at him.
Always makes me nervous when I see a player shuffle so many times
Look at
and then
him.
stop.
Hold on, mate. Penalties.
Good job done, Lukaku.
Oh, Van Dijk.
Certainly have a troop of players who outwardly look as though it's a training exercise on a Tuesday morning. But inside the heart's beating faster,
What's he
still
have
racing, and it's Virgil van Dijk.
Oh!
He's done his own work, you see. Knew where he was going to put it.
Converted so far.
Yeah, we
Jesus.
never have that look. He was just staring at the ball, making sure his contact was good, Van Dijk. Absolutely smashes it.
Three.
It's the power
Three
of
to
the
red.
beats.
You've got 3 to blue.
Pepper.
Look at Mark.
You've got the red 3.
Great penalty so far.
This one.
In regulation time, Chelsea have had 12 penalties this season in all competition. They've scored them all. This has been amongst the list of scorers, of course. Most recently, Abu Dhabi. Again, a little shuffle. Again, it deceives the goalkeeper. And again, a successful outcome.
It's still the ultimate test of nerve, taking a penalty. However, 6 takers so far made it look like a breeze.
Did Salah play?
He's taken one.
Has he
Yeah.
taken it already?
No.
Alexander-Arnold scored a penalty in that Super Cup win over Chelsea in Istanbul in 2019. In his first event, Fabinho also scored as well. Origi and Salah, who could still come. This is Liverpool's 4th. Marisa Balaga tries to put him off.
No.
Alexander-Arnold again. Absolutely drilled in. Having none of the gamesmanship. If he wasn't a Liverpool player, he'd be in that crowd cheering them on.
You pumped up, wouldn't you?
They're just such great strikes, apart from Fabinho's, which was so cool.
Oh,
And his competitor
Jesus
in the
Christ.
England and right
Oh,
back, Reece James moves past him.
Another player capable of using that
Careful with the
power
chilies.
technique.
Oh, this
The ball
one.
superbly, but this is pressure.
This is pressure. He's not taking a big run up.
Look, it looks so
Looks
close.
so easy
That's
to
his
do.
view.
For our cameras.
He really had it.
Well, I was nervous for him because I didn't like that left hand on the hip. And a short run up, it didn't look natural.
He wasn't
He's done
nervous
it.
for himself, though, was he?
He's done it. I was more nervous for him than he was himself. Salah,
Oh.
It's a good penalty taker.
penalty
Yeah,
taker.
yeah. He could miss this though.
Well, Mo Salah, of course, was on the spot twice on Wednesday against Leeds United. Both at different heights went to the goalkeeper's left.
Chelsea
Marisa
fans.
Balaga will know that.
The Chelsea fans are giving it some at the opposite end.
Here goes Salah.
Oh.
Another version of the same technique. relief as well.
Jesus Christ! What will happen? It gets to 5. It gets 5 each.
They get more.
Salah's just muttered something.
But then the goalies can end up taking one.
If all 11 players.
Jorginho will have memories of the Wembley failure, although he ended up as a winner against England in the Euro final here last summer. He also had a penalty saved by Alisson in a league
It's going
game.
to go to the left.
His record.
It's going to go to the left. Look at his foot. Look at his
Very
boot.
good.
Look at his boot. He's went to the left.
Good. We're seeing penalties scored in all shapes and sizes.
Well, we've just seen 10 absolutely brilliant penalties.
This is getting
the
pressure now.
Others
Origi.
now. Shota moves forward for
Oh,
Liverpool.
Zota.
Kepa's decided to just hang back this time and do his socks up. The referee wanders over to him again.
The pressure of you miss one now.
Diogo Jota,
Oh, no.
whose 2 goals at Arsenal took Liverpool into this final. They've been held at home. Maybe the odds were
I want
against
Chelsea to win.
A special night.
They've already won too much. So.
Yeah, but then
The
the pressure on Liverpool.
returns.
Oh, they've lost
He
the
is
last
on the
game.
spot, as the ball is on the spot.
They've already been too much power.
5-5 in the shootout. And it's 6-5 Liverpool.
Oh, this is going to be.
Well, the big crowd here, value for money. When do we
He's
kick
gonna
off?
miss.
4:30.
Yeah.
Tony Rudiger. You always feel it's never quite so easy for defenders, but that's probably wrong. There's some great penalty takers.
He's got to know where he's going to put it straight away now.
But Rudiger,
Straight runner.
Where's it at?
It's going to go there.
and he deceives Kelleher, and the 100% record goes on. 12 out of 12. We perhaps wouldn't want to take number 13.
Origi moves forward.
How many can they
There's
get up
one that
to?
was probably savable if
Any.
the keeper went the right way. He didn't do.
But they have to win by 2.
Yeah.
Oh, went right.
If they score their next two and Chelsea miss their next two.
Worse for the fans, you always feel, than the players. Somebody will be the one who
All right, mate.
What?
Thank you. Put it.
away from the team they represent. And here
He
goes
missed.
Divock Origi, and it's not him.
Well, that was another one. Just thought the way in which he set up Origi, he had to go that way, but Kepa went the other.
Kante.
Well, when you feel the more confident penalty takers come at the beginning, hoping it's sorted out, those further down the order are not the ones who either want to take it or the manager doesn't feel they're very good at taking them.
Well, you get into the ones now who haven't even practiced.
Yeah.
But what goal are they facing?
It's a problem.
Liverpool's.
Becomes a bit
Look,
more of a
fans.
lottery the further it goes on.
It rests with N'Golo Conte,
They don't know that.
the number 7 of Chelsea's 7th penalty. He doesn't fail.
Well, they're not blinking.
All right. I know.
Fine.
There's 2 or 3, I think, have been weaker penalties, but the goalkeepers have gone the opposite way, which has meant it's just gone straight into the net.
Robertson.
Andy Robertson, very responsible character, captain of Scotland. Here he goes. And that falters again. Well, every time a Chelsea player has had to come up having to
Massive
score since
pressure.
it went to
15 players have scored so
Jorginho.
far.
Yeah, I forgot about
Right.
Werner. You would think
Werner.
before Rudiger, before Kante. He's not. Are we going to find out why?
Well, he has taken penalties.
He's not good at penalties.
Defensive
Is he
games
not?
for Chelsea. He's won a few as well. Rests with Timo Werner here.
Oh!
That's as near as we've had to
Jesus.
say.
some of those Liverpool players
I
on the
know.
halfway line who broke out and thought he'd saved it. I think it went under his hand. Oh, young
Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott, oh.
You never want a young player
He played for City.
to this.
Did he not?
Harvey Elliott, who comes from
Or Cameron?
Chelsea territory.
Sancho, that was.
Who?
It's an
Sancho.
area that was always a Liverpool fan. His dad was a Liverpool fan. Went and watched Liverpool finals, and here he is playing in a final at an absolutely crucial moment. Elliott, nerves of steel.
That's a big moment for him.
Oh, well done to him. That injury he's had, then to come back.
God almighty.
Just delivered his penalty, Thiago Silva.
Is it?
Massive experience.
He was
Brilliant
playing
in the game.
top-class football before Elliott was born.
Yeah, and brilliant in the game, I have to say.
Oh!
Jamie Carragher mentioned it, but he was fantastic. 9th penalty taker for Chelsea.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's a defender. Defending
Here he
for
goes,
Liverpool.
Thiago Silva, the veteran, with the aplomb of a veteran.
No one's
It's almost
missing.
like he's seized up.
No one's missing.
On the way. That little
Who's
break
next?
for 10 minutes that he's had.
Canate.
He got it away, Kanate. We're into centre-backs, we're into goalkeepers soon.
Who's for Chelsea?
Well, it's been an epic contest that deserves a conclusion
I don't know,
as thrilling as this.
Oh, Reece. No.
I know some of you watching think, well, penalty shootouts aren't the way to go, but come up with something better. And they
It's
have
10-9.
their own intrinsic drama.
Oh, this is nerve-wracking.
Ibrahima Konate
He's missed.
against Kepa Arrizabalaga.
It's Anthony.
Oh!
It's gone through his hand. I think he got a full hand on it, Kepa. He knows that's the one that he...
Who is next?
Down.
I don't know who's next though.
Oh, he gets a hand on it, he just goes back behind him.
Oh yeah.
Just bends his fingers back.
I think he thought he might have got
That's
enough to get it
horrible.
over the bar. He looked round, didn't he? So working out who's left.
Oh my
Trent
God.
Alba,
After this is the keepers.
who've had
Is it?
19 penalties.
If he misses
19 have
Liverpool,
been scored.
19 scored.
And Chalaba makes it 20.
Oh my
Well,
god.
fair play to all 20 players.
If he missed, that would be. Oh, that would be sad.
Chelsea might be wishing they kept Mendy on, and Liverpool might be wishing they brought Alisson on.
Oh,
It's down to the keeper.
Kelleher is taking one now. Oh my god.
Flip.
They both save each other's.
What happens if they save them both? What happens then? Start again?
No, they
Kelleher
keep going on.
and Alisson watch on. He scored a goal, of course, in play. Well, from a set piece in
Oh
regulation
my God.
time at West
Mum.
Brom.
Mum. It's penalties.
Oh.
Vivian Kelleher.
Oh!
It's the
That's-
goal that's taking it now.
The penalties on the
The
field at the
penalties.
end have scored. It's an extraordinary feat in itself.
Some penalty, that.
Oh!
Kepa brought it to save.
I don't know.
I don't think he was brought on to score one.
Yeah.
What
You've got to score it.
is?
Yeah.
Keeper against keeper. Oh! Liverpool win the Carabao Cup. Kepa's skied it. Chelsea have blown it. Liverpool celebrated
Up
a
the
record
toe.
9th time. Their first domestic cup success for 10 years. And they had to go the distance to do it. Commiserations for Kepa. What a finish, Gary.
Well, you couldn't separate them. All all the way through to the end. But for that Kepa penalty, as you say, commiserations to him.
He just didn't look comfortable, did he, the Chelsea goalkeeper?
Inseparable. Both teams giving it their all, and there always has to be a loser. Unfortunately for Thomas Tuchel and his men, it's them today. Jurgen Klopp, absolutely delighted.
Well, third time lucky for him in a Wembley final. And his goalkeeper choice paid off. Kelleher was cool and calm in the heat of a real contest for 120 minutes in this final. And then, although he didn't save a penalty, he scored one. And for Thomas Tuchel, the goalkeeping gamble failed. Mendy was excellent in the match. The change, you questioned it.
There's something about it I don't like. It's not the time to analyse that, and it could have paid off. And they've obviously know that Kepa's got a great penalty-saving record, but I still won't get it. The goalkeeper has been outstanding and made saves all the way through the game. He's in the game. He's got the atmosphere. He's got the feeling. He's warmed up.
Imagine two teams giving more for one piece of silverware than we've seen here this afternoon and this evening.
No, I think at the start of the day we recognised that the teams that we have at the top of the Premier League, Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool, are the best in the world at this moment in time. And it was that big game should be a real struggle. Neither team giving each other an inch. And when they did, the goalkeepers were outstanding. Normal time and extra time.
It's been a great day out for them. Liverpool at times accused of not taking the domestic cup competition seriously enough, but what they do is use it to get young players through, and we've seen in Kelleher and Elliott the benefit of that. And earlier, Trent Alexander-Arnold and those who've gone on to cement themselves. Great camaraderie between keepers. They work together every day. Thomas Tuchel, who lost a cup final as he did the FA Cup to Leicester. No trophy today. Defeated, maybe distracted. Goals for 120 minutes, but it was relentless and spellbinding to watch, and then a shootout of such success that 21 players scored, but the 22nd failed, and it was the goalkeeper brought on to try and win the penalty shootout. There's many a story, but for Liverpool, they'll be dancing into the night. Back to Kelly and the guys in the studio.
And dancing in the studio, one of Liverpool, three-time winner of Liverpool's 9 League Cups, Jamie Carragher. Sum that up.
Brilliant. Listen, anyone could have won that. You couldn't have argued anyway. It was a really tight game. The shootout, some of the penalties were absolutely out of this world, and it fell to the goalkeeper. And I was the idiot before the game who questioned Jurgen Klopp slightly in terms of playing Kelleher. He's now the hero. Gary Neville was mentioning in commentary, when you're getting late on in a game, who's going to be the hero? That man is the hero. To take the penalty, last penalty for Liverpool to then win the cup. I mean, as I said, Chelsea played really well, Liverpool played really well, two brilliant teams. And, you know, someone's unfortunately got to lose for Chelsea, but I must say I'm quite pleased.
Jimmy Font Hasselbank, we're watching the Chelsea players make their way up to get their runners-up medals. Can you imagine how they will be feeling at this moment, having given everything on the pitch?
Yeah, I've been there. Losing a cup final is not nice. They're going to feel really down because overall in the game they had the better chances and you need to put them away. you don't put them away and it goes to penalties, it becomes a lottery, you know. And with these kind of teams, with these kind of qualities that they have, top players, they can handle this pressure. And you can see that 10 taken penalties and 10 goals from each side. And then it becomes to the goalkeepers. And, you know, it's just one of those things. I feel sorry for Kappa, but one team has to win.
Winner of the League Cup in 1995 with Liverpool, Jamie Redknapp also with us. Jamie, we're watching the Liverpool fans celebrating, the players celebrating in front of them. When they won the league season before last, they didn't get that chance. It was a closed ceremony. Is this a hangover really from that as well?
Yeah, these are great moments. This club's been built on winning trophies and amazing moments like this. They've got the most amazing fan base. It'll feel so good right now for them. And you know, when you look at the players, the penalties, it was one of the all-time great 0-0s. It was a spectacle. Everyone at home enjoyed it, and even the finale, you couldn't write it. I hope it puts to bed these substitutions now of putting, you know, goalkeepers on. Edouard Mendy's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. You bring on Kepa instead of him. Ridiculous. I didn't like his behaviour during when the penalties were being taken, and then he took one of the worst penalties we've ever seen. So I hope, no, I'm just being honest. I don't like it. I don't understand why you do it. You've got one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He should have stayed in there in the first place. But full credit to Liverpool. You know, amazing game.
Jamie, we talked before this match about what this could mean in terms of the rest of the season. It won't be the pinnacle of Liverpool's ambitions this season, but can it be a springboard to further success?
It really can, and you know, before the game, you know, Liverpool are involved in 4 trophies. They won the first one. Now, obviously, it's going to be really tough, you know, to win the other one that they're involved in. Man City maybe just slight favourites for the Premier League, but this could be a really, really special season, not just for this group, for Liverpool's history as a football club. You know, to actually get close maybe to winning 3 or 4 trophies, it could be something really special. It could be the start of it.
Chelsea have already had a successful year, 3 trophies on the board. This would have been the 4th, starting with that Champions League win. Let's hear, though, from a Liverpool perspective, Quaveen Kelleher is with Guy Howard.
I think you've just written yourself into Wembley history, haven't you? The goalkeeper that scored the winning penalty.
Yeah, like it's a mad one. I thought I'd save one. I didn't. I got close to a few, and then when it came down to me, I didn't even think I scored the winning penalty. I forgot we actually, like, I scored the winning one. So now, listen, all the penalties from the lads were class, so I was just happy to score.
You used to be an outfield player, didn't you, up to about 15, 16? Did you channel your youth when you took your penalty?
No, I think it was more hitting up.
What was it like? Because the penalties were of such a high standard.
Yeah, no, obviously. You think I got close to a few, got a hand on a few, but like you say, all the penalties, to be fair, were very high quality, so thankfully we were just able to win.
It was an amazing 2 hours of football. It ebbed and flowed. Did you ever feel you had the moment where you were going to go and win it?
Well, I thought we had scored when we got that goal. It was obviously disallowed. They had a few disallowed as well, so I think, to be fair, over the whole game, a draw was a fair result, to be fair.
And in terms of Jurgen Klopp, he just had a quick word with you there before you had this interview. What did he say?
He just said, well done for scoring the winning penalty. And so obviously there's a wall in Liverpool with all the goalies who've won cups, so he said, now's your chance, you can go on that. So.
Well done, go and get your medal.
Let's hear now from Gary Neville and Martin Tyler.
Well, Liverpool came here challenging for 4 trophies. They've been in such good form, and now they've got one in the bag, which adds more trust to their pursuit in Manchester City in the Premier League and their aspiration in the Champions League, where they've won all their games so far, and the FA Cup. They found some momentum's the smart word in football. They found it in overdrive, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. This is not quite why I joined Sky to do Liverpool's trophy lifts, but you have to give incredible amount of credit to Jurgen Klopp and his players. He's built a fantastic team squad. They've got a great spirit, and they're winning trophies, and it really will give them momentum now. They're on a great run. They've got still a lot to play for. Champions League, FA Cup, and the Premier League title race with Manchester City. But this is a great moment. It really is. There's nothing better than walking up those steps at Wembley, knowing that you're going to lift the trophy together as a team, put those winners' medals around your neck.
The this is part of the joy of getting back to some normality in terms of the full house here at Wembley. I think it's quite a late decision to move the presentation from pitch side where it's been through the pandemic.
Martin, honestly, at Wembley, the presentation always should be up there. That's history. That's where you should. That long walk up those steps is absolutely fantastic, and they should never present the medals down on the pitch in this stadium. But the atmosphere has been sensational today.
Costa Simicas, the backup left back, looking a bit confused about being at the head of the line. But there's another party coming in the opposite direction with a bit more seniority. It looks like they've rehearsed this. They last got on the podium in this competition 10 years ago. And they did that via a penalty shootout as well. But this was a penalty shootout plus. Kevin Kelleher, who's got away from our interview to get up and get his medal. Him just at the far end of the line. Well, they used to call it 11-a-side, but it's so much a squad game these days, and the players who don't get the regular game time are very much part of the unit. Jordan Henderson is ready for the moment. They've got their record back a season after Manchester City equalled it. Once again, they are the most successful club in this competition. It is number 9 for Liverpool. Carabao Cup winners 2022.
Japanese! Trent! Jota!
Jamie, we're watching that cup make its way down the line of Liverpool players.
Elliot!
There are young players in there like
money!
As a Liverpool supporter, his dad, I'm sure, will be in here watching proudly. Mo Salah, already a Liverpool great, who's never played in a Wembley final. Now he's a Wembley winner. Liverpool make it 9 League Cups, which is a record. How do you sum up what the players have achieved today?
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, I mentioned before the game that this Liverpool team, what the supporters just down in front of us out in this way. We still need to win more trophies. I really do believe that.
Thiago Alcantara!
Themselves and to win a trophy.
Hey, Salah!
This team specifically have done over the last 4 or 5 years consistently wise.
Van Dijk!
Absolutely fantastic. It really is.
Do you think that this feeling will give them even more hunger?
Listen, we're enjoying this. I think this team's got great hunger. The manager's got it drives them on. Really special season. Because at this moment, there's no doubt Liverpool are one of the best teams in world football. The problem is the other one is Manchester City, and they're here fighting for the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Champions League alongside Liverpool.
Jamie, for Liverpool, it is a trophy. It is a 9th League Cup for them this afternoon. In terms of their season, this will not be what they're aiming for. This will not be the
big achievement
of their hopes for this season.
No.
What can it do, though, for the rest of the season for them?
I said at the start of the show, give it a catalyst. There's no reason why they can't win the Champions League. They're right in the run in the Premier League. Man City are an incredible side, but they've got to hang in there like they have. So much to play for. Nobody's going to want to play this side with the pace and the speed that they've got defensively. Jamie said it, you know, at the end of the game, Virgil van Dijk today was just incredible, imperious, the way that he defends, the way he reads the game. His signing I think, is the reason why everything has gone so well for Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. He was the man that changed everything when they made that signing. He has been that good. He's got that aura about him that only a few players in the world possess.
Jimmy, it's a big win for Liverpool from a Chelsea perspective. Obviously, there'll be real disappointment here, but they played their part in what was an incredible final.
Yeah, of course there will be disappointment because you have lost on penalties. It doesn't matter how you lose. You know, you're going to be disappointed. Even more so because they